Hello YouTube, I'm back! Today we are going to do a little tutorial on this easy, natural, sort of peachy bronze makeup look. I used one palette, kept it pretty simple. I think you can recreate this pretty easily on your own, even if you don't have that palette. So if you are interested in learning how I got this really easy daytime, everyday sort of natural glowy look, stay tuned. Okay, coming at you with high definition and bare face. Pretty scary. Okay, I feel like I always have such bad like weird flashback. It's probably from my moisturizers that I use on the reg because I like a good SPF. So just know that, like, I'm not actually a shiny monster, but I think this is a great example of how SPF can cause flashbacks. I'm also coming at you looking a little bit like George Washington or a French poodle by having my hair back like this, but I think it's gonna help in the end. I'll keep it real. I don't really know what look we're gonna do today, so I think we're just gonna pull out some stuff and give it a try. I always start with my eyes just because I don't like to have to deal with the fallout after I have done my face makeup, but I always put on a primer first to kind of let that, like a face primer first to sort of let that like soak in while I'm doing my eyes. My favorite primer lately has been, not even lately, it's probably been like over a year that I've been in love with this, but the Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. This is the second priming moisturizer I own. I also have the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. If I had to pick one of these, I'd actually pick this over it every time. And this bottle is like actually empty. I can't squeeze anything out of it, but for some reason I like refuse to throw it out. But I did get a little baby one in a set at Sephora. I'll try and find a link to it if I can. There's like a set with this and a bunch of Hello Fab's like facial wipes, and it was like $8 or something like that. So anyway, I love this priming moisturizer because it is hydrating but not heavy. I don't necessarily think it like makes my face makeup last any longer. It definitely gives it like a good surface, a good smooth surface to work with. Okay, so I've got that in. I'll just let that marinate. Okay, let's assess what we're gonna do for the eyes. I don't know that I wanna go like too complicated today. Do I want to do a just peachy mattes look? Do I want a peach look today? I could do a peach look. Or I could use one of the Tartelette palettes. I have the Tartelette in Bloom and the Tartelette Toasted. I feel like I want to use the Tartelette in Bloom, but truth be told, I've been using that so much lately, I feel like you guys have actually seen it. Like if you watch my Vegas vlog, I can leave a link to that somewhere magically here. But if you watch that, in that vlog, I actually did a little bit of a tutorial using that. I did recently pick up the Tartelette Toasted palette, which is this bad boy. I think I'm gonna do a Just Peachy Mattes look. So this is the Just Peachy Mattes palette by Too Faced. Too Faced is probably one of my favorite brands for a few reasons. One, the quality of the shadows is just really good. They're super soft, they're creamy. They don't have a crazy amount of fallout. They have a little bit, but it's nothing that I can't deal with. And then on top of that, they're cruelty free. So I have been really trying to be conscious of that lately while buying products. I'm not saying that I'm 100% cruelty free, I'm definitely not, but I'm hoping that at the end of the day, I can one day go to Sephora and not have to worry about having to cherry pick the cruelty-free brands. It'd be really nice if everybody was cruelty-free. So anyway, Too Faced is cruelty-free. I love them, and they come out with the best palettes for eyeshadow, which is totally my jam. So this is basically a palette filled with peach colors, as you can see there. It does smell lightly like peaches. It's not an offensive scent to me. I don't think it's really that strong. And then the other thing is they're all mattes. So this is the only palette I personally own that is all mattes, and that's not really, I don't usually do an all matte look. So I'm gonna start by using my favorite eyeshadow primer. It's the Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer. And I'll just take a little bit of that on my ring finger. Always use your ring finger, guys, because your eye area is super sensitive and you don't want to add a ton of pressure. Your ring finger applies the lightest amount of pressure. So when starting your eyeshadow, always start with a transition shade in your crease because that's going to help everything blend out more seamlessly. I have two of this brush. This is the type of brush you want to use. You want to use a domed, fluffy crease brush to apply your transition shade. I love this one so much I bought a backup. It's the 224 by MAC. They are probably going to be discontinuing this brush soon. Just FYI, MAC is redoing a lot of their brushes because they are trying to be cruelty free. This is animal hair. But anyway, I'm gonna go in with a transition color. I think I'm gonna actually start with this like peach butter, maybe mixed with peaches and cream. So I'm going into shades that are not that far off from my skin tone. And I'm just gonna buff those lightly into my crease area. I kind of start with swiping motions, but then I sort of go into like a circular type of motion to blend out seamlessly. Blend it. So like I said, the point of a transition shade is really just to allow any other colors that you apply to blend really seamlessly. I actually think I'm gonna focus a lot of these shadows in the crease and then probably take a highlighter on my lid, because I don't really want to go full matte today. So now I'm gonna move on to this brush. This is a MAC 286. It's basically like the crease brush I was just using, but it's a little more pointed at the top, if you can see that. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Peach Tea and Fresh Picked. So they're just like sort of a little bit darker of the brown shades. And the reason I'm now using this brush is because you can see I'm getting much more targeted color. So I'm really like deepening up that crease a little bit, whereas that fluffy brush was sort of dispersing more of it. The shape of your brushes definitely matters, guys. It definitely matters because it for sure makes a difference how that color is targeted and applied. I like where it put the color, but I do think it's like a little much for what I was going for today, so I'm just actually gonna go back in with my 224 and do a little bit of buffing. I didn't add any color anywhere, I'm just literally like buffing it out. I might go in with a little bit of this top color, it's called Peach Meringue, and just feather that sort of under the brow, just so that I'm getting a little bit more blending there. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take a highlighter. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Candlelight Glow highlighter. I'm not sponsored by Too Faced or anything like that. I just truly think these products are amazing. I'm gonna take a Real Techniques brush. I just picked like a big old fluffy one. And this has two colors, if you can see that. So I'm actually just going and mixing them both, and I'm gonna like sponge that all over my lid for a little bit of a highlight. You could totally use an eyeshadow. This is just like a champagne color. It's nothing like crazy fancy, but I used it as an eyeshadow the other day and I really liked the way it looked, so I'm just sort of rolling with it, people, rolling with it. I might not even use that highlighter on my face, but okay, that's really all I want to do for my eyes. Okay, I think it's time to move on to my skin. I've been rotating between a couple foundations lately, but the one I've been reaching for the most is the IT Cosmetics CC cream. It's like your skin, but better, which is pretty freaking accurate, honestly, to what it does. And then I just realized I sat down and didn't wet my sponge, so now I gotta get up and do that. Excuse me? I really like using the Real Techniques sponge. I do have a beauty blender right here. It's not like I don't like them. The Real Techniques one, I swear, is like cheaper and just as good. So I just don't see a reason to spend more than I need to spend. But I just put a little bit of the CC cream on the sponge and I'm bouncing that all over my face. This does have SPF 50. So again, like you're probably seeing some of the flashback because I've got my lights on. Now I'm gonna do some concealing. I'm gonna take my Glossier Stretch Concealer. It just looks like this. And I'm gonna stick my finger in there and go under the eyes. I don't really have a ton of zits right now or anything, so I don't need to go crazy with the concealer. Just wanna brighten under the eyes a little bit. I think like the thing I hated about this concealer at first is the thing I love about it now, which is that it's pretty sheer. Like I don't mind looking like I have real skin. I don't mind looking like I have a little bit of a zit. I'd rather keep it a natural. I wanna do a cream blush today, so I'll put on powder after I do the cream blush. I've been liking the Glossier Cloud Paints, which are these, but I have cream blushes from Honest Beauty. I really did like these for a long time. You can see I've hit pan on this one, but I just haven't been reaching for them lately. I'm not so sure if I think that's like the best color for today, but okay, well, my camera died, so we're trying this again. But I was using the Honest Beauty cream blush in Truly Thrilling. And I was just taking my stipple brush and slapping that on to give my little corpse face some color. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a little bit of powder, but I'm gonna use the Glossier Wowder. I like that it has sort of like this filter so it prevents it from spilling all over. Dust that under my eyes. I'm gonna do some bronzer next. I've really been loving the Too Faced Sweetie Pie bronzer lately, and the reason why is because it's a bronzer blush. I actually wrote like a whole little segment in my email newsletter about this. Lightly buff that into sort of where the hollow of my cheek would be if I had a hollow of my cheek. And then I'm gonna take that across all the places the sun would naturally hit just to bring some warmth back into my face. I know I wanna do a highlighter, but I think I wanna go pretty easy with the highlighter. probably gonna do a Glossier one. I'll either do, so these are their Haloscope highlighters. I have two colors. I have Quartz and I have Moonstone. So Quartz is a little bit more of a skin tone. I don't know if you can see that. Or my skin tone, I should say. It's not a skin tone. And then Moonstone is just like a white color. Let's do Moonstone today. We're gonna do Moonstone. So I don't know if it's just San Francisco being 50 degrees or what, but my apartment like basically freezes these so that they get a little stiff. So I can't just swipe them on, because if I swipe them on, it's just hard. It'll just take off all my makeup. So I actually just warm it up with my ring finger and then place the color, sort of like dabbing it wherever I want it. And I actually like this effect. It gives it more of a natural glow. Definitely is not a blinding highlight. I did a full Glossier review. I actually have that on my channel. I could try and link that somewhere here too, but I did a full Glossier review. It's probably one of my most watched, most popular videos. Anyway, I'm gonna do that, and then I actually might just do a little bit like right on the center of my eyes. Okay, now I'm gonna do some Fix Plus. It's not really a setting spray. Fix Plus doesn't really actually make your makeup last longer, but Fix Plus just kind of makes your skin look like skin again. I'm gonna finish off the main part of my face situation with a little bit of Boy Brow, which is Glossier's Brow Gel. It is lightly tinted. I do have my eyebrows microbladed, but I like to add this on because I feel like it keeps the brow hairs that actually are hairs and not the microblading. It just kind of keeps them in place, and it's really natural looking. I think what I might do at this point, so I could either do mascara and a lip and call it a day, but I think today I'm actually really maybe wanting to do like a little bit of a faux liner look. So I'm gonna go back in with the Peachy Mattes palette and a brush, like an angled brush like this bad boy from Real Techniques. If you haven't noticed, I actually really like Real Techniques. Even though I used to work at MAC, and for all of those fancy makeup brands, I gotta say, like, Real Techniques makes some amazing brushes that you can just buy at the drugstore for a great price. So anyway, I'm gonna take this angled brush right here, and I think I'm gonna do this warm brown called Peach Tart up in the top here. I could just use a brown liner, but I feel like this gives a softer look. And that's what I'm after today. So I'm actually just like pressing it into my lash line. I'm gonna wing it out just a little bit. Not really a true wing, I'm just kind of extending the line. Just kind of extending the line a little bit because I kind of want like a soft cat eye look. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for the eyes. I'm just gonna add some mascara. What mascara should I use? I'm gonna use the Benefit Roller Lash. This is a very light mascara. It's very natural looking. Do not use this if you expect any level of drama in your life. I got enough drama in my life without the dramatic mascara. But the idea here is that it's not necessary to curl your lashes. I just like stabbed some in the center of my eye. Okay, so that is the face. I think we just need a little bit of lip color. Oh, okay, my favorite lipstick was actually hanging out up here. I thought it was in a purse, but this is the Buxom White Russian lipstick. It's My Perfect Nude. It's like a pinky nude. Anyway, I don't even bother with the liner. I do have the White Russian liner, but I'm low maintenance with the lips because the truth is I'm gonna go eat and talk and do whatever else, So that is it for this look, you guys. I just kind of took my hair down, gave it a little quick brush through, and yeah, that's like a really kind of simple, everyday sort of look. It's just peachy, it's natural, it was easy. We used one palette with like a few colors that you could easily replace with any kind of like warm peachy colors that you have at home. I used a highlighter. You could also have used that same highlighter for your face. So I've been keeping it really easy lately, and then just went with like a neutral lip. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't do a ton of actual like makeup look tutorials, but I really want to start getting back into it. I'm really missing lately my roots as a MAC artist and a Bare Essential artist. So those were the good old days, man. Those were the good old days. I really miss some of the makeup. So I'm hoping to do more of these tutorials in the future, but let me know what you think in the comments below. I really want to gather feedback kind of as I'm building up my channel. If there are any specific looks that you guys want to see, let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I really hope that you join the family if you're not part of the Bagel Babe family already. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Bye, guys.